What's going on, guys? Multiverse Corrupt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at Henry Cavill Superman from McFarlane Toys. Guys, starting off this video, we're having a look at the McFarlane packaging, but we are doing something a little bit different. I bought this guy when he first came out back in 2021, and that was before I started doing YouTube, so I threw away the package, not expecting to do a review on this guy. So on the screen, as you've been seeing, this is the packaging here, and it is pretty straightforward. It is Superman with the open face window, the black, white, and blue DC Multiverse packaging, with the Superman name on the side and an image on the back. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and get these pictures out of here and take a closer look at the Man of Steel. Once the world's most powerful and iconic superhero, Superman personified a higher calling to truth and justice and a deep respect for all humanity. The absence of this fallen idol whose sacrifice stunned the world inspired the formation of the Justice League. Right here, guys, is Superman, and I think that he looks absolutely amazing. This one right here, hands down, this sculpt, detail, and design is my all-time favorite Superman suit. McFarlane did a fantastic job, and it's moments like this that make me question everything else that he does, because sometimes we get a figure from him and it has no love. But figures like this, they really went the extra mile. I don't know if it's because they get a contract with the production team, but they really do knock these figures based off of the movies out of the park. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I have noticed a few times when my Superman rotates, the camera tries really hard to focus on the cape, so I do apologize for the blurriness. There's really nothing I can do about it at this time. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and get Superman off of the rotating turntable and take a closer look at the accessories that he came with. In terms of accessories, guys, he didn't really come with much, but he did, of course, come with the McFarlane flight stand, which I do love seeing with the Superman figures, but like I've said in earlier videos, McFarlane's always done this, only given the flight stands to certain DC heroes or just strictly Superman, but I'm very glad to say that this one did get the flight stand. Right over here, guys, he did, of course, come with the trading card, and he was a Target exclusive. They did, of course, come out with the black suited Superman first, but then they ended up coming out with this one. But they did, of course, give him this card, and it is black and white. Flipping it over here to the back, guys, is the read-up for the Superman here. Go ahead and pause the screen and read it right now. And we can, of course, see up here at the top that the source is from Justice League Director's Cut that came out in 2021. With all that said, though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the accessories and take a closer look at the detail. Right here, guys, is Henry Cavill Superman up close and personal, and his detail is absolutely fantastic. There is no complaints from me. I think it does look amazing. Starting off with the head sculpt alone, that is Henry Cavill's face in figure form. I will, however, point out that those are some really dead eyes, and it's kind of a shame, really. He's got some lovely eyes, I'm just saying. But it is a fantastic look-alike for Henry Cavill. It's just him in figure form. I think it looks amazing. Going down here to the uniform, guys, I do think that this is my all-time favorite Superman suit, especially in figure form. This sucker is detailed beyond belief. This design is sculpted all throughout the figure. There is not a single spot that isn't detailed in this pattern right here. It looks amazing. This figure is just chef's kiss right here. Flipping it over here to the back though, guys, as you can probably tell, this is a custom cape. This is a cape that I had purchased off of eBay because I wasn't a real big fan of the cape that McFarlane put on him. Right here on the screen now, guys, is the cape that he came with. It was just some red bendy plastic that was just draped down his back, and I do think that this figure, this Superman, should have the long flowing in the wind flapping cape right behind him, especially for those product images. It just looks 10 times better in my opinion. I am not a professional, so don't judge my glue work up here, but this is still a beautiful figure. Going down here to his legs and his waist, guys, I do love the gold belt. It is perfect. There is no chippage or anything up here. In terms of chippage, though, let's go ahead and get closer to the logo here. I do have that one little silver speck that has always stood out to me. It has always caught my eye, and it's just a shame that that is there. I could go try to match this red paint and just cover it up. I don't know what they blended it with or what overall color they used. I can't go out and buy Superman Code of Justice red. So I'm just going to leave it how it is. It's whatever. Digress on the subject. Going down here to the boots, guys. This is also in that same pattern as the rest of the uniform. This figure is absolutely beautiful. I cannot get over this figure, and I've had it for a while, and it never fails to catch my eye out on the shelf. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the detail and take a closer look at the size articulation and size comparison. When it comes to how tall this figure stands, guys, this Henry Cavill Superman does stand at about the 7.5 mark, maybe just a little bit taller, but he is a bigger scale than what we're typically used to seeing from McFarlane Toys. He does typically tower over some of the other figures, especially with the figures that are within this wave. But that is okay with me. I am fine with a taller Superman. He is the main guy, the head honcho of the Justice League. So I'm okay with him standing a little bit taller and a little bit prouder than the rest of them. Going over to his articulation, guys, let's go ahead and bring him closer into the camera. When it comes to his head can look all the way up, so flight poses are a non-issue, and he can, of course, look down all the way. Thanks to the ball joint, his head rotates all the way around, and he does have some pretty decent head tilt, especially going this way. This way, probably not so much, but over here, absolutely. When it comes to his arm articulation, his arms are a little tight, and I have had this guy for over a year now. They are still very, very tight, so you don't have to worry about the joints becoming loose. And they do rotate all the way around, and he does have bicep swivel, but it is very difficult to get him to rotate, so I'm not going to strain the figure and break it. He does, of course, have double hinged elbows, and he is on that classic McFarlane ball and hinge peg here, so it is just that ugly little flesh colored ball that you can see here, not the newer one that he's been doing with the newer figures. When it comes to his ab crunch is pretty much non-existent forward and back, so it is a little bit of a bummer, but it can rotate all the way around, so there's no problem there. When it comes to his waist articulation is pretty much non-existent as well, unless that is just mine. Hopefully it is. This is really tight for me. I don't really want to strain it anymore, but it can rotate all the way around. As for his legs do kick out about that far, and they kick back about that far, aka not at all, thanks to the rubber buttocks back here blocking it. And he does, of course, have double hinged knees, and his ankles do articulate down. They articulate up. He does have toe articulation, and he does, of course, have the beautiful ankle pivot, but unfortunately, the ugly ankle ball. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the articulation and get a closer look at the size comparison. Right here, guys, is the Man of Steel next to another McFarlane custom of mine, and I do think that these two do scale together nicely, especially with the bat logo being a bigger bat symbol from Batman that is all but ripped out of the comics. I do think that they do scale together nicely. Right here, guys, we do have the NECA Alpha Predator next to the Man of Steel, and I will say that they do scale together nicely, and I would love to see these two go at it in a fight to the death. And then, of course, last but not least, we do have Mr. Fantastic from Marvel Legends, and he just simply will not scale next to the Man of Steel. Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. When it comes to my review on this figure, guys, I'm going to give Henry Cavill Superman a solid 10 out of 10. No questions asked. Put your hands down. Now, this is a little bit of a sad time for us Henry Cavill Superman fans. As we all know by now, he has met with James Gunn, the new leader of DC, him and Peter Safran, and they have both told him that they are not moving forward with him as Superman. I am like the other bit of fans. I am angry with this bit of news. It is very sad and disheartening because just in October, he was allowed to tell us that he was coming back full time as the Man of Steel. But unfortunately, that is now just a pipe dream. I really do hope that in the future we see Henry Cavill within the DC or even the MCU. This may not be the last time we see him play a superhero that we all know and love, but unfortunately for the time being, it is his last time playing Superman, and he will be missed. Henry Cavill will forever be my perfect casting for Superman. With all that said though, guys, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment down below how you feel about the Henry Cavill being replaced as Superman. That said, guys, I will see you in the next video. Later.